comments on coming together of this collection and the idea behind the presentations. Collection. And why this combination?
احنا بدأنا دلوقتي اهو في الجولة بتاعتنا.
completely bilingual. So you see red turn, and it's also in English. We tried an audio guide in French as well, and at least I think they're thinking about an audio guide in the Turkish language as well. So we have 4, hopefully 5 languages in the future. But in the text, not on the layer of the object, but on the layer of the text, the walls is all bilingual. Okay, so this is the beginning of the exhibition, the second or the first floor. It is called Wahre Schätze, True Real Treasures or Wealth of Treasures. It's made up of 3 collections which build the core of the collections of the Württemberg State Museum. It's the arch chamber of the dukes or kings of Württemberg. It's the antiques collection, and it's the collection of the early princely tools, which means 8th to 5th century CE. Why this display? Why this tour, which is quite dispersed? So it's not obviously a red line you can follow, but the idea is we ask us how come objects into museums, into collections? How it's the coming together, the emergence of collections. Yeah? The first is patronage. Sponsors who collect and give it to the state. So this is antiques collection stands for the idea of patronage, sponsoring, giving private collections to the state, to the public. This is the antiques collection mainly. To the core of Ernst von Siegling, which I will show you later on. The second is the stately collections, the collections from the lords and aristocrats. So it's a stately collection from the dukes of Württemberg. So it's an interest in the own, not in the own heritage, but in the world's heritage. You will see it in the arts chamber. They collected everything from all over the world to collect knowledge and to show it not only to their to other kings, other dukes, but also to the public. It's the idea of collecting the world and presenting the richness of cultures and of knowledge. It's the age of Renaissance, it's the age of Enlightenment. I show you in the second part of the exhibition. And the last part, which I'm responsible for, is the early Celts. It means it's the first idea of being interested in the own history of the region, and it's the first try to make a stately scientific approach to the own history of the region, and this is mainly the digging of the Landesamt für Denkmalpflege, and it is the third root of these core of the collections of the Landesmuseum. So this is why we choose these 3 steps, this approach. How come objects and collections together and make up these rather strange walkthrough? I think 6 millennia. So you see, responsible for the antiques collection is Nina Wilberger, and she has 3 themes: it's Roman, Etruscan, and Greek. And there's the first 3 objects represent these Greek, Etruscan, and Roman idea of objects. I can't give you a guided tour through everything. So you see, completely mirrorless glass, which is great. It's not the case in the second floor. Shame, but it is as it is. And the idea is to aesthetic approach: religion, myth, the afterworld, and it's not divided into Roman, Greek, and Italian, but it's a topic, and so it's always a mixture of the different cultural groups. So you can compare which
هنا طبعا نشوف طريقة العرض أصلا مختلفة.
Yes, we have the gods and goddesses of the Romans. We have the Roman names, we have the Latin names.
هنا الآلهة الرومانية.
It makes it quite easy to compare the different lines of heritage. And you see, it's not only the content and the objects that count for the display, it's the aesthetics of the display as well. So we try to have every showcase its own aesthetic frame and its own picture. So if you look at this, it gives a nice look, and it gives information, and it gives. That is the idea behind this part of the exhibition. So let's move along.
نتحرك هو دلوقتي.
Walls which give a second layer of information.
Yes.
So if you want to know more, you can open drawers and get more information on certain objects which are on display or are not on display. And we have these showcases. So they are not that stupid.
هنا بيحط في طريقة العرض من تحت زي درج كده بيتحرك على الأهم القطع اللي موجودة جوه.
It's this golden background which shows, okay, this is for you. Okay.
هنتحرك.
Dry language and objects you can touch.
دي ممكن نلمسها عادي.
So it's for blind people, for people with handicaps, so they can read it and they can touch it.
كمان برايل.
gaming.
ودي نوع من اللعبة. English yes.
It's not only reading, looking, touching, but it's also gaming. So you have here the possibility.
مش بيعتمد بس على الحواس، لا ده هو بيعتمد كمان على اللعب والحاجات دي.
Easy and way to play around with things.
Where to find what?
Yeah, where to find it, I think. Yeah.
The statue itself?
And that's there. This one.
هو بيجيب لك الصورة وهتلاقيها فين في المتحف، فأنت بتقعد تدور بقى عليها في المتحف. attractive جدا بالنسبة للأطفال. لا ده كنت مسلي داني روماني. هو مفيش انجلش في الليبل.
alone in Tányiة. They're making an exhibition on fashion and chic and through the millennia. And there's a famous head of Ptolemaic times, which has a Greek priest, but with an Egyptian inscription. So it's this mixture of Greek, Roman, and old Egyptian influences.
هو هنا بيعمل كونفرنس من الجريك رومان واللبس المصري.
Which blend all the lights, and these mummy portraits only get the light.
نشوف portrait.
Protected from any disturbing and harming light, as long as someone steps in front of it and then it's okay. Yeah, the most thing of this portrait is the democracy and able to I know at least also of his quality in Alexandria and Cairo, but nevertheless there are good ambassadors of the Egyptian history in Stuttgart. So let's go into this chamber.
هنخش دلوقتي في حاجة كده قاعة عرض منفصلة.
These rooms shall bring down the audience to the
الأوضة ضلمة خالص والنور بس جاي من القطع والليبلز. في حاجات أصلا معروضة بره، هو جايب لك هنا ظهرها، طريقة عرض مختلفة.
which has the name of her father, the name of her mother, her age.
يعني هنا طريقة العرض المفروض إن أنت تعرض فيها حاجات بالوش كده عادي، ولو في حاجات ليها ظهر مكتوب فيه أو ليها ظهر مميز ممكن نعرضها بظهرها، لأن هي اوريدي معروضة بره. وهم هنا مهتمين جدا إن يبقى في مكان للقعدة كمان. أنت ممكن تقعد، ممكن تبقى قاعد وتتفرج على حاجة في كنبة كده مدورة بحيث إن أنت تعرف تشوف كل القطع. ده البورتريه اللي احنا شفناه بره، تبقى الكوبي منه جوه. دي بورتريز برضه بتفكرني بتروهات الفيوم، شبهها كتير قوي. الإضاءة خافتة جدا.
Mainly to Alexandria in the early 20th century, about 1902 to 1906, and he tried to find the tomb of Alexander the Great. He didn't